Good Saturday morning, Patrick the Oka Shaver. It's Saturday, February 3rd, I think. Yeah, yesterday's Groundhog's Day, so it's the 3rd. I want to share a shave with you today, and I had a brush made for Dave in Kentucky, and the guy who made it is Craig Budgeon, who owns Opus Brushworks, and when he sent the brush to me to send to Dave, he sent me a couple of handles, and here's one of the handles. It's an Ebonite handle that he cut out on the lathe, and I finally put a knot in it. It's a 28 millimeter Timberwolf, I think is what it's called. Yeah, from Maggards. But this is a big honking brush for me. I don't usually use bigger brushes. This is usually the size that I use, something like that. So, but as a gift, I wanted to fix it up and use it. So Dave will be using this little bitty brush here, and I decided to go with Colgate in the shave mug, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Shave cup, something. Makes me feel silly every time I try to describe it. And this was a gift from Kurt Green down in Texas. He gave it to me a couple years ago, and I've only used it a few times. I found it at the back of the drawer today and thought I'd use it. But it's a Rod George solid brass. It weighs about 19 pounds, but it's got a double open comb in it. Yeah, RG Shave Designs, Rod George. So it's got a second use PermaSharp in it, or this will be the second use for it. And then to finish it off, this was on the bottom shelf this morning, so I just grabbed it. So it's Old Spice in a Old Spice decanter. This is new Old Spice, and for whatever reason, I put some menthol crystals in it. I don't like menthol all that much, and I don't know why I did that. Maybe at the time I really liked the menthol. It's funny how things change for you when you get into a hobby. Anyways, let me wet this brush a little bit and we'll get on with the shave. Hopefully it don't come apart on us. I've only used it twice, I think, since I set the knot. I'm not the best at it. Every time I do it, I think I got the knot exactly where I want it, and then I'm not sure, and it's usually too late by the time I make a decision. So here we go. Let's get a little soap on this and get on with this thing. Hope this has found y'all good and well this morning. Dang it. And everything's going all right for you on this Saturday. It's a little rainy here. Still haven't got to run my Beagle dogs anymore. One time in a month and a half or whatever it's been. But and it's already calling for rain next Saturday too, so yay us. My buddy works 12s and he's off 3.5 days a week. The guy that I beagle hunt with, and he's always sending me videos, and I'm having to listen to him talk about how good his dogs did and this and that. It's getting kind of old. I have to get out there and get hunting. Yeah, my wife is sick. She's got flu type B, and as I've said before, she's a kindergarten teacher, and she said she's never had as much flu A, flu B, and strep in her classroom as she's had this year. And she said one of the, I think it was a preschool class, was down to 10 students from 25 or so. So a bunch of sickness going around. I told her, I'm glad you're sleeping in that extra room in there. She went to, she uses the Cherokees for healthcare. And she went over there and sat at the urgent care last night, and they didn't really give her anything other than you've got flu B. They gave her some Mucinex, something else, it seems like nasal spray maybe. I told her to get some rest and drink plenty of fluids. I think I mentioned this is Colgate, didn't I? I don't know. Had some good interaction last week about the question I asked about what if you had one setup that you had to use, what would it be? Excuse me. And Dave in Kentucky said he really couldn't pick just one. Well, with all the stuff he's got, I can kind of see that. I like interaction like that, make you think a little bit. Well, what's something that, I'll ask this question this week. What is something that everyone else really likes, or maybe no one else likes, but something you just can't stand? Maybe it's a bore brush, or a certain shave soap, or a certain aftershave that everybody seems to like and you just can't get with, or a razor that everyone seems to care for that you just don't like at all. Leave that in the comments if you have a minute to do so. Thank you. I did not shave yesterday morning. So, a couple of days growth. Hold on a minute. Cafe Bustelo in the Fire King cup this morning. All right, continue on. I'll tell you this, and I may have mentioned it last week, I don't know, but every team I pulled for in the playoffs lost. I don't know how that is, but I could have showed you who to bet against or bet for, I guess. I've been kind of a Baker Mayfield fan since he was at OU, and I was really pulling for Tampa Bay through the whole season, really. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan first and foremost, which is not an easy thing to be right now, but they've always been my team. Well, one thing about this old Brushworks pretty good, it seems to me. But being a synthetic, it's kind of hard to mess it up as long as you got a little bit of water on it. Let's go against the grain here on second pass. I don't really remember anything about this razor, how it shaves. I remember it being heavy, and it is. But it don't really matter. I figure if a coyote broke in right now, I could probably kill him with this razor handle though, so keep that in mind. But Rod George, he makes a lot of really nice razor handles. If you're ever in the market. I'm just assuming he still makes them. I don't know for sure. My dad, of course, he's retired and just does what he wants to do. Sent a text to me and my sister that he was going to Rob's, which is a store north of us by about 25 miles, I guess, owned by Amish folks. I don't know if we need any more. He buys this jam called Bear Jam, and it's got all these different berries in it. It's really good, and it may be a thing everywhere else, and I've just never heard of it until now. But I told him I still had part of a jar, but buy a couple just in case. And then later on in the afternoon, he started sending, he sent a picture of homemade biscuits with butter and that Bear Jam all over them. And then a little bit later, he sent one of, he made him some cornbread. Man, I thought, ain't that something? And here I am at work, which that's why he did it. And whenever he makes something, he splits it with his buddy, who's also a widower, lives up in Wagner, just north of us. They're good friends, and it's actually my wife's great uncle. They run around together all the time. But if he makes a dozen biscuits, his buddy gets 6 of them, or he gets half a pan of cornbread or whatever it is. I live a lot closer than that, and he don't ever bring me much. I'll have to have a word with him about that, I guess. Alright, third pass, here we go. Already gone. I've said it 100 times on here, but if you can put hands on some vintage Colgate, if you've never used it, or maybe that's one of the things you don't like, I don't know, we'll see. But I suggest picking some of that stuff up if you get a chance, if it's reasonable to you anyways. If you don't like it, you can send it to me. Alright. Pretty good there. something that I dislike that a lot of people do like. Menthol is one thing. I have a few aftershaves with menthol in them, and I get along with them okay, but that's just kind of an afterthought. But feather blades, something I don't get along with very well. I don't. Lots of people, that's their go-to, and bully for them, I guess. But and I always have a tuck, because I think I'll try them again, and I'll try them again, and think, what in the world did I buy this for? And then I run out, and I'm gonna buy another tuck. So I do, and then there I go again. $2 or $3 and for crummy shaves. I don't know. A lot of people love it, and that's okay, I guess. I'm not one of them. All right, Old Spice, no can. This is a new formulation. I've got some vintage stuff in there, but it doesn't smell that great to me. A couple, 3 bottles of it. Because everybody needs 3 bottles of Old Spice. I do like the smell of that though. My mother hated it. She hated about everything though. Anyways, let me recap and I'll get off here. I've just blah 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 this whole shave. So we use the Colgate in the personalized mug. I'll call it a mug, I guess, from now on. The 28 millimeter Ebonite handle with Timberwolf knot in it. Still got about 6 shaves left of soap in there, it looks like. The Rod George design solid brass, hefty. And then finish it all off, I used some new formulation Old Spice in the Canon decanter. Let me get off here and let y'all go. I'm sure y'all got stuff to do. I do appreciate y'all watching and sharing your time with me. Be careful and safe and stay healthy if you can. Thank you for watching, and Lord willing, we'll see y'all next Saturday. Thank you a bunch.